Hi, I am KTM on Two Wheels, and this is part 2 of what I talked about on the previous very long-winded not blog, sorry. Part 2 is going to be recent events, the crisis in Portugal and stuff like that. So you might have heard on the news that there was this weekend or some weekend recently, especially because I'm not very likely to post this blog quickly. There was some really huge manifestations, uprisings in Portugal. Some say it was the largest, I'm trying to find the right word, and manifestation doesn't quite seem like it, damn it. Off I go into the hard shoulder. Sorry, that's too confusing. Frack me, there's a crash over there. Cops, no cops? Yeah, cops, cool. Yeah, fuck. No cops, that's just, okay, cool. So yeah, there was a huge manifestation. Some say it was the largest ever. Some say it wasn't the largest ever, but it was like the second largest. Basically the whole country came into the streets. It was just amazing. I wasn't. I was cleaning up my basement and I couldn't go. But it was really, really, really huge. And why was that? Well, people are this is not like I'm sorry if I'm going to insult someone, but this isn't like Greece or something like that. We're not just complaining because of complaining or because there's some measures the government announced that we don't like. The gist of it is that the government announced some measures which nobody likes, but the whole point is not that, because Portuguese are known to be very soft people. People of soft customs is a saying here, and we aren't bothered by that. We're just not going to the street. Screw it, I have better things to do with my time. That's the general feeling here. But here everyone went, and the idiocy is this. Okay, we have very low minimum wage, and by very low I mean ridiculously low. And as you know, we have social security here, as in almost all civilized countries. And one of the things for social security is used for is paying for your health, for healthcare, and for your retirement. And so every worker, as I would say is the norm everywhere, I think, of their salary is automatically discounted a certain amount, which is I think 11%, and that's just flat for everyone, and that's to pay for social security, for your retirement, for healthcare, etc. And that's not supposed to be a tax. That's just something you are paying for a service, okay? And so the government, in its infinite wisdom, to try and help companies be more competitive, decided, okay, companies have to reduce their costs because they cannot be competitive with so many taxes on them. So let's do it like this. And here comes the brilliance. Let's increase the tax from that, not tax, the social security contribution. I'm just going to call it TSU because that's the letters in Portuguese and I'm used to that, so screw it. The social security contribution, TSU, we're going to increase it for the workers from 11 to 18%. And let's decrease the TSU for the companies by 5%. Or from 13 to 18, and okay, basically they increase the TSU for the workers in 5% and reduce the one for the companies in 18%. The companies pay this tax that's not a tax, for each employee. So that's basically making my salary shorter and giving that money directly to my employer. So this managed to unite the whole country against the government, and by the whole country I mean everyone: employees, employers, unions, employer unions, every party, including the party in power. Everyone says, okay guys, no, that's just stupid, it's not gonna happen, that's not possible to happen. And why is that not possible to happen? We already have really small minimum wage, that's 485 euros, And after you remove this tax, because the minimum wage is exempt from IRS, it's like 410 euros a month or something. It's really small. And then there's the cost of living, which is the same as the rest of Europe, so it's really hard if you're on minimum wage. If you're on minimum wage, only your house is going to be your minimum wage. That's it. So if you're on minimum wage, you cannot afford to live in a house. So you see the problem. That's why people are living with their parents into their 40s or more. So there's really no more capacity for people to pay taxes in this country. It's come to the point that the government increased taxes and the amount of taxes they collected went down. Because people don't have money, and so they pay they pay the government directly from increased taxes, and they don't buy things. The economy doesn't go anywhere because people are simply not buying anything because they're afraid that money is not going to last. So no one buys anything at all. They just sit on the money and watch it evaporate. The economy goes nowhere, and as I'm on the wrong place, you freaking retard. Economy doesn't go anywhere because no one spends any money. They don't have money. They've delivered all their money to the government. No one buys anything, and the economy tanks. And that's why we have a recession. We have a recession because of too many taxes, because the government doesn't have money to cover just the loans it has asked for. And previously, whenever these measures came, so government employees got their vacation subsidy and their Christmas subsidy removed, and they complained a bit, but well, not too much. Government employees got their wages cut by 5%. They complained a lot, but okay, well, we need this. Okay, the country needs this, so let's make a fuss about it. But in the end, let's accept it and move on. The pensioners got their subsidies removed, Christmas and vacation, which is actually not legal, and the Constitutional Court said that's not legal. First thing, because it only applied to pensioners from the government, so that's discriminatory and cannot be done. And the second one is because they have paid for that. You have to remember, retirement is paid from the contribution. Supposedly, is you get your retirement from the contributions you have made your whole life to Social Security. So it's not something the government can take away because it's not theirs, it's yours. You have paid for it. So yeah, but we swallowed all those measures with the idea, okay, the country really needs this, so patriotic duty. There's really no solution other than this, so we'll just take the bullet and let's go. But there's a limit. There's a line which you cannot cross, and this is one. There's simply no more financial capacity on the whole bloody country. Hey, I know that guy. That guy works, and I cannot horn. Shit. Okay. Yeah. Awesome. Great. My hawk is dead. There's no more capacity to pay taxes, and they transform something which is not a tax into a tax, because that money is not going to the government, is not going to Social Security, is going to the employers. And this united the whole country because everyone knows this is stupid. The idea is to give the small companies, especially small companies, more leeway, making them not go bankrupt and preventing more job loss. Well, the patronage, the employer said, okay, no, that's not going to work, guys. That's simply stupid, because if you remove money from the people, if you even reduce further salaries, people are going to buy even less, and we can't sell, and we don't make money by not paying taxes. We make money by selling stuff. Okay? Yeah, the math is sound. The math is take 5% from the employers, give 5% to the companies, everyone's happy, and the companies get an infusion of cash, which they did not get before. Well, that's stupid, because a company with 10 employers is going to say 5% of that salary, but it's going to lose a lot of extra money from people not buying their products because people don't have money. So the employers say, no, that's not going to work, it's a stupid measure, stop it. The employees say, guys, I already don't have any money, so you want to take more? How am I going to live? The parties, every single party said, no, listen, that's not going to be popular, and besides not being popular, it's not going to work, and besides not being popular and not going to work, you only need to think for about 10 seconds to realize why this is not going to work. So people are going to go batshit crazy on that. Don't, and they didn't really care. It didn't go forward, but they announced it, that they are going to present it for budget or something, I don't know. And so the whole country just decided to give him a big fuck you. And this is the country, and me included, that actually supported this government because they were apparently trying to fix things. And I got mixed feelings about this because I want to support these guys. They seem like they really want to do the right thing. They seem determined to do the right thing, but they're not doing it. They're just doing stupid, idiotic stuff after idiotic stuff. We don't need more taxes. We need to stop every single freaking politician in this country from having an S-Class Mercedes. Why the fuck do they need an S-Class Mercedes and a BMW M5? And don't ride an Opel Corsa, for Christ's sakes. And the wages on politicians are huge, and it's the same story everywhere, but here it's taken sometimes to a whole new level. It's just retarded. Oh, like the Prime Minister, after some idiotic measures again, when he went on vacation, there was a whole freaking battalion of securities to keep him safe and keeping him from hearing protests. So that's another pretty spending, but that's actually our fault, and that's one of the reasons we were so lame about the measures, because it's basically the people's fault here. Because this has always happened. We've always seen politicians just spending taxpayer money as if there was no tomorrow, and there not being consequences. People don't. They don't manifestate. They don't go out onto the streets and demand the politician's head when they see him, I don't know, on a weekend with the official car. That's just considered normal, and people just shrug and say, hey, look, there they go, spending our money, and that's it. No, that cannot happen. People need to confront him in the streets and say, you fuckhead, why the fuck are you using my money to use the car for your own advantage? And that's actually a crime, but nothing ever happens. So the problem is, a big part of the problem is actually ours. We are not demanding enough of our political class, and so the abuses just piled up, and since there were no consequences in the last 10 years, it just reached some absolutely retarded level. So yeah, that's why we have all these manifestations and why they were so peaceful, because we're not into violence. There's always violence, that's just normal. There are always idiots everywhere, but we're not into violence, and most people understand that the cops that are there, and usually problems with manifestations are cops and manifestators hitting each other, but we understand the cops, if they could, they would actually join the thing, because they're as bad or even worse than we do. Cops need to pay for their own freaking uniforms, and if they crash the car trying to apprehend a robber, they pay for the repairs. So it's really retarded, and cops have a really, really hard job with very little support, and so if they could, they would, and they've done their own manifestations. So there's no violence against the cops, and it's not they're pigs. There's always idiots like that, but most of people understand that, hey, the guys that are here, they're trying to protect us and prevent violence, so let's not piss on them, okay? And this is why there's that very famous picture of a girl hugging a cop, because we know they have a difficult job, they have the same problems as we do, and yet there they are doing their job while we do our thing. So yeah, that's it. That's the explanation for these manifestations in Portugal, and why they do not end up like in Greece, where people just start burning shit. We're a bit more peaceful, and we understand the underlying problem here, and we understand that it's partly our fault, and that the guys that are there preventing us from burning shit down would actually like to start burning shit down. So yeah, that's it. That's my political time. Okay, you're out.